Hello, my friend. Welcome to live chat. Thank you so much for your patience this morning. If you were waiting for the news to go live, if you're waiting for chat to go live, thank you for your patience. Yeah, we're running about a little bit behind this morning. I had to re-upload What's Up in Makeup. It was taking forever, but we're good now. We're good. But thank you for your patience if you were waiting. Usually I'm pretty on point, making sure everything starts on time. So with that being said, today we're going to be talking about lying and manipulation in the beauty space and why it's ruining everything for everybody, because it's very frustrating. It creates a culture of skepticism for everyone. It creates a culture of skepticism for all brands, for all beauty people in the beauty space that post on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, wherever. The consumers, well, even people that do the videos and stuff, all of us that are consumers of beauty end up becoming skeptical of everyone. You never know who's lying to you. And it's because of situations like we're going to be talking about today. Now, I do have linked below James Welsh's video on this topic. He's got a great series on his channel that addresses these things, the Instagram versus reality. I definitely recommend you check it out, and his video on this topic on Tarte's recent mishap. Oh my gosh. We'll get into it in a second. Basically, the video straight up says, and I'll play it for you, that no filter is being used, but you can clearly see a filter is being used. We're going to go through all of it. And then there's some other things that we may touch on if there's time after that, which there should be. So yeah, but before we get into that, because it's like, I just want to talk to y'all about it, because it's making me like, you know, the scene from the movie Clue where Mrs. White is standing there and she's like, and the flames from the side of my face, heaping the flames, and like anyway, that's the way I feel about this topic, is just flames just coming from the side of my face. I think she's talking about murdering her husband in that, if I remember correctly. But anyway, I'm not planning on murdering anybody. I feel the flames. So I want to talk to you, because I have a feeling we're all feeling a little flamey today. So before we do that, I do want to quickly say hello to the people that are here live in the collective brain of makeup awesomeness, also known as people that are here in live chat. If you are not here live, if you're watching this on the replay or listening to it like a podcast, thank you so much for being here. You can always participate down in the comments down below in that part of our collective brain. All right, so let's say good morning to Vicky and Yasu Cherry and Jen Unboxed and Michelle and Lana and Darky Doom and Lisa from Sincerely LGS. Thank you all for continuing to come every single week. I appreciate you all so much. We have the regular people that are always here every week. I'm so glad that you enjoy chat, and thank you for spending your mornings with me. If I said your name or didn't, thank you so much. Our moderator Teresa is here along with our other moderators. Teresa sent me this necklace and I love it so much. I have pretty much not stopped wearing it since I got it. I love it. It's a little butterfly and I love it so much. So thank you, Teresa, for sending this over. Let's see. Janice is here. Good morning to you. Rocio, good morning to you. Thriving and Beyond and Saucer Jess and Banshee Muse and Libby and V-Dub and Josephine and Alyssa and the Gooden family are here, and Makeup. Yes, if I did not say good morning to you, good morning to you. Thank you for being here. And we do have a new member of the Collective Brain Elite. Kathy, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you supporting the channel. Thank you so very much. All right, so let's talk about this topic. I just noticed I still have this line on my forehead. You're not going to be able to stop looking at it now that I've mentioned it. I got a new sleep like mask thing, and it pushed on my head. I got up at like 8:15, 8:30, and it's still a line on my head, and it's driving me nuts looking in the monitor. Like I can't stop. So hopefully maybe I should put on a hat. It's because of filters that I feel so self-conscious of my little headband mark there. John thinks I might be dehydrated. I need to drink some water instead of drinking coffee. Is probably a smarter idea. Anyway, let's get on topic here. Let's get on topic. All right, here's the Tarte original video. Let's play it. Hopefully you can hear the sound okay.
Hey, watch me shrink my pores instantly. Look at the results that you're seeing right here. This is not a filter. Oily skin, textured skin. Meet your new best friend. It's our timeless smoothing primer. It's like a filter without a filter.
And what kills me about that is that I'm going to play it one more time, but I want you to watch the camera jump when she moves her hand away, you can see where it jumps to where the filter is being added. You can see it. Watch it again and watch for the jump.
Hey, watch me shrink my pores instantly. Look at the results that you're seeing right here. This is not a filter. Oily skin, textured skin. Meet your new best friend. It's our timeless smoothing primer. It's like a filter without a filter.
For some reason, I don't know, maybe it's the process of my computer, but I saw the little jump. Hopefully you saw it too. I didn't see it that time. But there's a little jump, and there's actually side-by-side photos on Twitter that I'll link down below that show you where it jumps to the filter. Now, this is the thing. There's two issues. Besides the filter, there is the watch me shrink my pores instantly. Because we all know, because we've been in this space for a while, that you cannot shrink pores. It's not possible. The only way to make your pores smaller is through, I don't even think, through long-term skincare. I don't know. You might be able to some with long-term skincare, with tightening underneath your skin. I do believe that some ingredients will allow a small shrinking of pores. And then also using a BHA chemical exfoliator can remove like dead skin cells and like junk from inside your pores that will not shrink them. They stay the same size, but what it does is it helps them to close up a little bit, so that you can, because think about like a bag that's full and you take the crap out of the bag, it kind of shrinks up a little bit. It's kind of like that. So it's not like your pores are actually shrinking. They just kind of can go to their natural size. Coldness, if you put like a cold spoon, can constrict underneath your skin to make it appear like they're smaller. But really and truly, we're not making the actual pore smaller. It's just little temporary things that can make them appear a bit smaller. But what's happening here and what happens with pore filling primers is it's silicone based. And what it does is it fills the pore so that it looks like it's smooth. It's not actually shrinking anything. So there's the outright lie there of the shrinking of the pores. And then there's the use of the filter. Now, they did release a second video on their Instagram, and it's on their Instagram now, where you can see the actual effects of the primer. So let's watch that.
So I saw your comment on my last video wondering if I really used the Timeless Smoothing Primer or if it was a filter. So I'm going to get up close and personal just so you guys can see. I have a little bit on the back of my finger here. I'm just going to take it like this, blur it right onto my skin, and you can see how the shine is instantly gone. So all you're going to do is just press this in. It'll help to blur and smooth. And I know that you can't actually reduce the appearance of your pore size, but this is the best we can do. We can use a primer over top of or underneath our makeup to give us a flawless canvas just like this. And now you can see I'm just working it into the skin to get that really blurred effect. What do you think? This is the before and this is the after.
Okay, so the thing is her skin does look like her pores are filled. If she had just done that video, I think it would have been a great advertisement for the product. I think people would have been very happy with that. But the use of the filter was just not good. So let me go ahead and pop over, and I want to see what you all are saying. And really what it comes down to for me is that it creates distrust in the entire industry. And that's what I hate about it. Okay, let's see. All right. I'm going to say Nima. Hopefully I got that correct. James Welsh has been such a source of education for me on filter use. I thought I could spot them a mile off until his Instagram versus reality series. Yeah, I can't see them the way that he does. Like when he did like the side by side of like when he filtered his photo and not, I couldn't tell the difference, honestly. Like they're so subtle. I honestly can't tell. Yeah, Mel, we're probably going to be talking about that. I have it loaded up to talk about that topic as well, as far as Jaclyn Hill and the summer collection and the shade range, because that's another lie that we're going to talk. I think we should talk about it. Okay, Pan says, I feel like there's still a filter on the second video. Excuse me. And there may be, possibly. Yeah, Jody says, I think it's actually funny that companies think consumers are dumb enough to believe this. We can be so easily educated nowadays from people like James Welch. Tarte is rude, really. And I do want to get, I want to show you the rest of this because it keeps going. It keeps going. Will this work without makeup? See, this is the problem. Okay, so do you guys remember when I did the Becca No Filter foundation stuff? I don't have it anymore, but it was when I put it on in that review video, you can see when I swipe it across my face, you can see the silicone filling my pores. I think it has silicone in it, but you can see it filling my pores. But as soon as I blend it, it goes away. And that's a big problem with pore filling primers, is that a lot of times, the more you blend it, the more it just goes away. So you don't want to rub it in as a moisturizer. You want to really pack it in to your pores. I would imagine it could work without makeup underneath it. I would be concerned about the lasting power of it, that it would stay, especially with oily skin. So yeah. Let me show you what else I've got queued up for this. So we've got those 2 videos. We also have, oh, where did it go? It was Tarte's statement. Okay, so oh, I know where it is. It's where there's an article linked below. It's a BuzzFeed News article. And on the article, it says that where is it? I want to make sure I quote them accurately. At the very top of the article, I know they say, it says, "We can confirm that a filter was not used in this video and we did not retouch it in any way," said a spokesperson for Tarte Cosmetics. And I am not one that celebrates the downfall of anybody. I don't feel that joy. But what I'm seeing here by this action is that that person probably wasn't telling the truth. This was posted by James, that they're looking for a new social media manager over at Tarte. So that basically, to me, is Tarte saying that they potentially, I mean, you can kind of connect the dots. We don't know if they actually should be connected or not, but that Tarte's looking for a new social media manager is a hint that the person that made the statement that there was no filter no longer works for Tarte. So that's a thing. Yeah. I think people just want honesty. And if the product is good, if it really truly does blur, you don't need a filter. You really don't. Yeah, Jane makes a really good point. Is it possible the person recording the voiceover was unaware that a filter was being used in the video? I want that primer from the second version of the video. It sounds like the voiceover was the person. From what I remember, I can't hear it the way you all hear it through the computer, through your device. It's silent for me because of the audio recording, but it sounds like it's the same voice in both videos. I think it's the person recording that does do the voiceover. So in that case, they would have to be aware of the filter being used. And what really makes me mad is that it creates skepticism everywhere. And then you get people, like James was saying in his video, being accused of using filters that maybe they didn't. He admitted he accused Nicole Consilio of using a filter, and then she proved that she didn't. And it creates this whole thing where nobody knows what to believe. And it's very, very, very frustrating. Yeah, this is where is it? This is an interesting point too. Darky Doom says, someone said Tarte Amazonian Clay Foundation was amazing. It's so bad for me. I hate it. And that also adds another layer because of the blatant dishonesty and manipulation that we see in the beauty space. We end up with situations where maybe that person genuinely loved the Tarte Amazonian Clay Foundation. Maybe they really loved it and it just didn't work for Darky Doom, right? So maybe Darky Doom is going to think this person was lying, which they may absolutely could have. It could have been sponsored. We don't know. Like it could have been. They could have been lying. They could have been, working for Tarte somehow, or, lying for another reason, but maybe they were being honest. We just don't know. And that's the problem with all of this, in my opinion. Okay, this is what Joanna says. I don't know if I haven't seen this with my own eyes, but this is what Joanna says. The voiceover is the same person. She's quite high up in Tarte, like director of education, and does all the QVC stuff in the US and UK. Thank you so much for that, Joanna. Yeah, exactly. Bianca says, I just don't understand what's wrong with skin texture. Why do companies insist on blurring skin to an unreal level? I want to see companies celebrate normal skin, normal bodies. Yes. And that brings me to a very good point. Jamila Jamil, who was in The Good Place, I'm not sure. Let me find it. I'll put it up for you. She retweeted James's tweet. Let me see if I can find it quickly. There she is. Okay. And then let me screenshot it real quick. I saw it. I should have screenshotted it earlier when I saw it. Should be soon. There it is. Okay. Screenshotting now. Drag. Screenshot. File. Save. I'm just going to save it as just random letters because I don't care. And let me insert it real quick so you can see. Because this is an excellent point. Okay. I'm putting it in. Here it is. Oop, this one. Open. And it's loading. And here it is. Okay. So let me take the comment off. Jamil says, why do women hate themselves? And it's not just women, it's everybody, you know, that is influenced by these kinds of things. This new Instagram post advert from Tarte Cosmetics is awful. And it talks about, you know, James talks about what's wrong with it. And Jamil is absolutely right. You know, we can't have normal skin. Normal human skin sometimes has large pores, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, if you don't like it, then you should do whatever, like, we do whatever we want with our own faces and our own bodies, but I don't feel like people should be shamed for having large pores. I think that's a really good point. Absolutely. Yeah, Apple Pie says, for an older woman, blurring primers are helpful. Yeah, I mean, I think you have to do what makes you happy, but at the same time, it's like, you know, come on, man. All right, so let's talk about the second topic that I wasn't sure I was going to talk about, but I was pretty sure I was going to talk about it. So Jaclyn Cosmetics came out with this shade range for their bronzers. Now, it is a limited edition collection. She did talk about that she was going to release more shades, but there is a problem with that. I'm going to put up if we look at I think that Jaclyn Cosmetics knew there was a problem when they hired this model with the deep skin and saw how ridiculous these shades look. I mean, it's just, you can tell that they did not try these bronzers on deeper skinned people before they formulated them, which is a big problem. I feel like they should know better at this point. And this is the thing, is it doesn't have to be more than 6 bronzers, just make it a range. You know, like if they really want to make it a small amount of bronzers, if they really want to make it, you know, less, they don't want to release the whole line, that's fine. But make it a range. Make it so that at least, you know, one bronzer is going to work for the majority of people, you know, instead of all the bronzers working for this many people. So this was Tina from the Fancy Face. It made me laugh. I know she's effing lying because I can just see Tina shaking her head at this. And some other comments that I saw underneath. Oh, wait, let's see the Jaclyn statement. This is the Jaclyn statement. And this is where the manipulation comes in my opinion. I feel like that is just neglectful and disrespectful. But this is where the lying and manipulation comes in for me. This is their statement. We would like to address the shade range of our Sun-Kissed Cream bronzers. We hear your feedback and recognize the range is not broad enough. Our vision, this is what it is. Our vision for Jaclyn Cosmetics is to create an inclusive and diverse brand that is a haven for all beauty lovers. That's the part that gets me. To ensure we deliver on that vision, we have partnered with Change Cadet, a diversity, equity, and inclusion consulting firm, to look at all areas of opportunity within our business and to address our process going forward. We thank you for sharing your feedback with us and want you to know that we are committed to doing better. Okay, being committed to doing better, that's fantastic. Everybody should be committing to doing better in their lives. Everybody, me, you, everybody, the person, everybody should be committed to always doing better and always being better people. Brands should be always committing to doing better. But it's this line. Our vision for Jaclyn Cosmetics is to create an inclusive and diverse brand that is a haven for all beauty lovers. When did that start exactly? Because it definitely didn't start before these products were launched. It definitely didn't start when this was created. So maybe that's a new concept. maybe. So let's look at a few comments that were underneath Jaclyn Cosmetics' statement. Now, this isn't directly Jaclyn Hill making these things. We don't know who wrote them. It is Jaclyn Cosmetics. We're talking about the brand, not Jaclyn Hill specifically. Okay, we're talking about the brand. Adrian says, releases that don't cater to everyone at the start of a launch shouldn't be released, in my opinion. You've effectively removed a whole demographic of people from buying this launch, which I feel is extremely concise and accurate. Here's the second one. So as an afterthought, you're going to partner with a DEI firm. You knew in your video that this was a problem, which is why you gave a disclaimer about how about hire POC on your testing team at least? Exactly. And that was what I talked about in What's Up in Makeup today, which if you're watching this live, you probably haven't seen it yet, is that, Jaclyn said in her launch video that there were more bronzers coming. I think she knew when she filmed that the bronzer range was not what it should be. And that's why she put that disclaimer in my opinion. I don't know that for a fact. I don't know what Jaclyn's thinking. I don't know what she's feeling. I'm not, but that's what it felt like when I was watching, is that she knew that it was bad. Here's the third one. The foolery in this tweet and the replies is beyond me. After all the other mishaps brands have been through with shade range, and this is the best you could come up with. So you have to hire a firm to tell you to be more inclusive. You clearly didn't learn from others' mistakes. And I said what I said. Too many people are always giving her a pass. It's not a mistake. Those swatches were a disgrace. They didn't even work on the model she used. And I think that she makes a really good point as far as that after all the other brands' mishaps, it's like Jaclyn has been around. Morphe has been around. Like whoever was in charge of this has been around. And it's like you saw what happened with Tarte years ago with their shade range of their foundations. That was huge. And it's like, well, maybe if we just say that it's limited edition and that it's a small part, maybe we can, get away with only making these for people that look like Jaclyn. And I just think that that's messed up, and it goes so much deeper than just makeup. And I know some people are going to be like, oh, it's just makeup. It goes so much deeper than that. It goes into our culture in America and beyond, all over the world, and the dismissal of people of color. And I'm not going to get into all of that today, but I definitely recommend doing your reading and research if you're interested in that topic. I know I've been doing a bunch of reading and research so I can be more educated on that topic. And it's been a thing for a long time. So it goes beyond makeup. It's not just about Jaclyn Cosmetics and her shade range of her bronzers. It's a continued pattern of behavior of society. So that's why this is important. All right, let's see what you all have to say. Let me scroll up a bit. Yeah, exactly, Siri. When the promotional picture looks this ashy, good grief. Exactly. And I like, how hard is it? I can't imagine it would be that difficult to find people of deeper skin colors to test products. Like, just be like, I'll pay you $50 an hour to come over to our studio so we can test these samples on you. Like, put a call out to our subscribers. And say, hey, if you live in, whatever area they have the samples in, we're looking for people to come in so we can test product samples, and have them sign a non-disclosure agreement so that they can't, talk about what they see, what state, so that everything stays in that room. As far as, you don't want anything leaked before launch, and then just hire people. And pay them a reasonable salary, not salary because that's not accurate, but pay them a reasonable fee per hour for their time, and just do some swatching, and then when you get the new samples in, call them back and say, hey, do you want to come back in? We'll give you $50 to come in and let me just put things on your arm. It's like, or on your face, have them apply it on their face. That would be even better, since we're putting these bronzers on our face, not our arm. So I don't know. It feels like manipulation. I don't know whether that was the intent, because we never know the intent. We don't know someone's thoughts, but it feels like manipulation. It does. Yeah, Thriving and Beyond says awful brands being exclusionary, in my opinion, is unacceptable. Jaclyn Hill could have done that from the start, not play catch up after the first release. Yes. And I feel the same way. I feel like this is just a little too late, you know? All right. Fly Science says it's not that it's not broad enough. It's the white base used that causes a white cast. Okay. I think you might be replying to somebody. I'm not processing that for some reason. Maybe with the bronzers, something about the formulation of the bronzers. For some reason, I'm not processing that. Probably you watching completely understood that, but I don't know why I'm not processing that. Oh, can you hear my dog running upstairs? All right, Georgia says you're absolutely right, Jennifer. They should know better, but at this point, it's a choice, and they don't want to. Her statement is patronizing. You know, I felt the same way. That it felt. I don't know. For me, you know, it didn't. I don't know. It's going to hit differently for me, is what I was saying. It's going to hit differently. But yeah, they should know better. At this point, it's a choice. And it felt like when she said that the bronzer range was going to be expanded, that she knew and that it was a choice not to create that range. And we talked about in What's Been Makeup, ABH came out with a similar number of shades of bronzer, and theirs is very wide, very wide. It's like we're just looking. I think people are just looking for a gradient, something that's going to work for them, because it does feel exclusionary. It does. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Georgia, for your comment. Yeah, Fly Science says the many times institutions have told they're committed to doing better, and that's the thing. That's what I'm talking about in this chat, is that it creates this broad skepticism. So even when a brand is trying to do better and they genuinely want to do better, you know, the people that run the brand, because brands aren't people, but the people that run the brand, there's a level of skepticism because people have been lied to so many times. It's the whole fool me once thing. Totally. Yeah. Makeup says we're 2021. Come on. The type of comment regarding limited range don't fly. Case closed. End of the story. Talk to the hand. All right. We're going to take a quick break and just talk about what's on my face today. And then we can keep talking about this. We can talk about other manipulations if you want, or we can talk about something else. It's totally up to you. On my face today, on my cheeks, this is PR. This is the Milani Supercharged Cheek and Lip Multi-Stick in the shade Spice Jolt, and I am loving that. On my lips today is this is purchased. This is the Patrick Ta She's Independent. This is the Monochrome Moment Silky Lip Cream, and I love this stuff. It feels so good. It just feels comfortable. It feels nice, and I love the opacity of it. It's just a really pretty product. 2 ABH products. I figured in honor of their shade range, I'd use some ABH, and this was calling to me today. This is the Jackie Aina palette. I don't think this is still available. You might be able to get it some places, but I'm pretty sure that it was like a limited edition thing. In my crease, I have Ginger and Credit, and then on my lid, I have Zam and Soleil. On my lower lash line, I have Sponsored and Trust Issues, and I freaking love this palette. I haven't used it in a little while, and it's like, I missed you. I really, really love this palette. Jackie did a fantastic job. And then on my cheeks, I use the discontinued Amrezy palette, the Amrezy highlighter that I love. Freaking love this thing. All right. So anyway, let's see what you all are saying. Oh, Jennifer, that's so nice. I really do appreciate you. You just feel so darn genuine. I'm so glad to be part of the collective. You know, all I can do is be myself. I can't, like, I'm talking to you the way that I would talk to anybody that I know. Like, you know, I try to, you know, I don't know. I don't really try, because I'm just like talking, but that's so nice of you to say. It's nice to have people like you, you know? So that's really nice, Jennifer. Thank you. Oh, here we go. This is a really good point. Applejack says Jaclyn said in her release video she loves getting feedback from her Black fans, but you have to get it right the first time in the makeup game. And I think I might have been wrong in the voiceover that I recorded for What's Up in Makeup today, where I talked about the blush and bronzer duos, because I remember seeing those swatched and seeing that the range was really, really sad. But then my friend Audra from Audra at Home did a video that she talked about how one of the blush and bronzer duos really worked well for her. And then underneath the post that I read this morning, there was another Black woman that said that the blush and bronzer duo worked well for her. So then that she was disappointed about the bronzers because that blush and bronzer duo was so nice on her. So that may have been a mistake on my end, just because from looking at the swatches, it looked really bad. And that was my mistake. But hopefully, getting the feedback is helpful. Because I think everybody just, we all have the same goal, I think, in the beauty space. We all have the same goal of just wanting things to be, we just want everybody to be happy. We want good products created at a fair price. And we don't want to buy crap. We want to buy something that's going to work for us. We want to invest in products that we'll enjoy using, because I don't know about you, but for me, makeup brings me joy. Putting on my makeup is fun. Playing with different colors is fun. Playing with different techniques is fun. And when you use a product that you spent your money on and it makes you sad, it's like, it kind of spoils your whole experience when you're like, ugh, and it brings that negativity and that stays with you, So. Oh, nice, Janice. Janice says, I think the Jackie Aina palette is still available. I was looking at it this week, considering whether to purchase it. It's fabulous. I do have a full review of it. If you want to see like swatches and everything, well, it swatches on me. And I know there's tons of other videos out there, but it really is good. It's a fabulous palette. Yeah. Banjo Bones Mama says, if a brand is continually non-inclusive, I just don't buy from that company. There's so many choices out there. And I think that's an excellent point. And I know I've talked to Audra about this many times. She feels this way about Tower 28, that she was just so disappointed in the shade range for that brand, that she's just not buying from them anymore. Just point blank period. She's not buying from them anymore. And I think people remember, and with Tarte, with the blurring filter, it's like you tricked me once, plus all the other problematic choices they've made in the past that were different, but still problematic nonetheless. It makes you get a bad taste in your mouth. And there are thousands of brands at this point, like literal thousands of brands. If you really look at it, probably thousands make sense. I would imagine thousands would be accurate. There's a lot of brands out there when you count all the indie brands and everything. There's so many choices. Like, why would you buy from a brand that has left you out, that says, basically, I don't need your money right now. I may need it later, but I don't need it right now. I'm going to release it for people, of this group of people. And later we'll talk about you. Like, later I'll make something for you, just not right now. Like, that's just an icky feeling. Like, why would you buy from a brand like that? I don't blame people. I really don't. Okay, supposedly someone made a really good comment. I'm going to see if I can find it. Oh, it was basically along the same lines of what we were just talking about. Yeah, I did see that. Aimless says Michaela defending Jaclyn was ridiculous. And I think that, I've definitely, I see I'm friends with this person perspective. But at the same time, it's like, I don't have a screenshot of that, but Michaela, who's very, very big on TikTok, was basically saying, about the whole thing that Jaclyn's going to come out with more shades eventually. Like, hold on, she's going to come out with more shades. And it's like, but no, for all the things we already talked about. She did put out an apology statement, Michaela did, saying how short-sighted she was in what she said. But yeah, I mean, it was short-sighted. And the thing is, I'm debating whether I want to talk about this because I don't want to say it the wrong way, but being white, we will never understand the Black experience, period. We can't. We physically cannot understand the Black experience. And the only way we can understand is by listening and being open and learning and, accepting the fact of the way life is. And, you know, you have to open yourself up to that. It won't come to you. Like you have to seek it out if you want to understand it, because we will never, as a white person, I can't say we, like white people, we will never fully understand because we will never experience it. So taking that time to learn and grow and change and open your mind up to experiences that are not ones we will be able to experience is really important in order for us to become a more cohesive society. We talk about how our society is so divided. Well, yeah, because we don't take the time to try to understand each other. You know, so that's my soapbox on that. Kalisha says, I mostly use blush as bronzers, so if I can find multiple colors in a blush to use as a bronzer, I don't think it's that hard to formulate an actual bronzer for deep skin. Oh, absolutely. I think that it was easier. It's easier to just swatch things on Jaclyn. It's easy. She's, you know, they send her the sample, she swatches them on herself, she makes choices and she moves on. It's just easier. It's lazy. It's inconsiderate and lazy, in my opinion. I don't think it's hard. I think it's just take an easy way out. Yeah. Jackie says, how about Hourglass leaving us out forever and now having 3-shade eyeshadow palettes for over $100? We talked about that in What's Up in Makeup today. If you haven't seen it, go check out Hourglass's Instagram or go check out What's Up in Makeup. It is obnoxious. Okay, they're selling one eyeshadow in like this little gold. It kind of looks like, do I have it here? Hold on. Let me see. I don't want to spend too much time with my back to you. Okay, I don't have it here. Okay, so it kind of looks like they're really pretty 3-pan highlight and bronzer palettes, but they're refillable and they're little because they're eyeshadows. But one eyeshadow in this little metal, like maybe it's metal, I don't even know, little pan is $39, and then the 3-pan one is $99, and then the 5-pan palette is $161 for 5 eyeshadows. We thought Natasha Denona was pushing it. Like, are you kidding me? So yeah, I mean, and they have been leaving out people of color specifically forever. Like, and that's why Samantha Ravindall stopped talking about their brand. Absolutely. It's just, they just, you know, maybe it should be something that all brands do if they are, you know, let me rewind. Sharon Shooter, who owns Alma Beauty, did that Pull Up or Shut Up campaign where she talked about different brands and how they, how inclusive they are at the top. As far as representation of different types of people. Because when it comes down to it, if you want to market to a wide range of people, you need to have people making decisions that are that wide range of people. They need to be representative of the people you're trying to sell to, period. So if they're not, then you need to make sure you're consulting and hiring consulting firms to help you understand those other consumers that are not you. Because like I said, you can't understand an experience that is not your own. So you have to work with people that do understand so you can make sure you can market appropriately to everybody. And I feel like Hourglass is way overdue for something like that. Absolutely. I mean, I feel like some companies, you know, if it's not, because makeup is so based on the use of makeup, the way your skin looks, whether it's the texture, whether it's the, you know, skin type, whether it's your skin color, whether it's your climate, there's so many factors in whether a product is going to work for you. And you need to have people working on your team that understands all of the factors so you can market to as many people as possible, so you can sell as much product as possible, which is the purpose of companies, you know? Jenny says, I can never find something right for olive skin. I thought it was just me, so it is validating to hear it isn't just me. No, it's not. Definitely not. Yeah. Caitlin says it's a bad look to continually tell Black consumers to wait their turn for products while launching shade ranges that offer so many options to white and fair skinned consumers. Yeah, I mean it's dismissive and it's just rude in my opinion. I think it's just rude because it's not about that it's limited edition. They can only come out with 6 shades, so they couldn't. It's you could come out with 6 shades and you didn't. You didn't come out with ones that could work for everybody. You had Jaclyn swatch them and it was just to work for her. So, I mean, how could you not know that it was going to be irritating to people it wouldn't work for? I don't, especially with how long they've been in the game. Jaclyn has been around. Morphe has been around. If you don't know, Jaclyn Cosmetics is under the Forma Brands umbrella, which is owned by the people who own Morphe. So it's like they should know better. So all I can think of is that they didn't care. That's all I can think of is that they just didn't care. Yes, Fly Science. How long do darker skinned people have to wait? We always have to wait for the next rollout of the next season. We're hardly considered initially. Exactly. And remember when Tarte was like, we're going to wait for summer so people can get, people with a tan can use more shades or something. And it's like, you do realize people are that color year round and they need it year round, not just in the summer, you freaking morons. I'm sorry. I'm just ah. So, I mean, and it took them a really long time to extend that shade range. It took a long time. I guess maybe they were trying to get it right, but still, it shouldn't have been an issue from the jump. Just make a gradient. However many shades you have, just make a gradient. If it's 6 shades, make a gradient. If it's 10 shades, make a gradient. If it's 40 shades, make a gradient. Don't make 30 shades of white that are barely different from each other. It just doesn't make any sense. I don't know what's wrong with people. I just don't. I don't get it. And if you don't have somebody on your team that you can swatch on, hire somebody. There's plenty of people. It's like, oh my gosh. How much would people be happy to be able to be paid by Jaclyn Cosmetics to help with their shade range? I'm sure people would love to have that extra cash in their pocket. Yeah, it's a lot of the people that are just commenting, kind of just reiterating the things that we've said. Oh yeah, this drives me nuts too, Katie. So many areas this is an issue. Makeup, nude, underwear, and yeah, with the word nude always bothers me. I think there's videos going back from the beginning of my channel where I'm complaining about using the word nude, and it's always a color that looks like me. It's never a deeper color called nude. It's you do know that there are people with deeper skin that have, a deeper color of nude when they're nude. Maybe we should not use that word as a when there's so many shades of nude. And I'm not talking about nude shade ranges. I'm talking about when a shade, specifically, there's a shade of lipstick, a shade of foundation that is called nude specifically. It is always this color or close to it. Oh, thank you, Janice. Janice says, yes, Jen, I've definitely watched all your ABH eyeshadow palette videos. I love how you do your reviews and comparisons. I actually think I'm going to rewatch it after this. Well, thank you. I do put a lot of love into them. I do put a lot of love. I want to give you as much information as I can, whether it's because I don't think that just a personal experience is enough. Because I'm just one person, I want to give you more information than just my personal experience so that you can be more educated and because maybe something works for me and doesn't work for you. Maybe something works for you, doesn't work for me. So the more information I can give you, the better. It just makes the videos real long. But I really do enjoy, I've always loved research. I've always loved finding facts, like fact finding and looking into things. My dad is the exact same way. We like to dig deep into things. My dad gets into these modes where he gets really interested in the topic and he'll just research it for weeks. And I'm the exact same way. I just love finding the nitty gritty details and learning the truth and all of that. It's just kind of in my bones. I love data and I love numbers. They're so concrete and beautiful and and I love sharing that stuff. So I'm glad other people like it too. Yeah, Michelle says, if you create a darkest shade, it can work for more people than just light shades she made. Changes in application make it work for so many people. Oh, totally. And I've definitely, like my ABH contour kit and some of like the palettes, like the contour palettes, sometimes I use the deeper shade. I just have to make sure that I blend it out. And I can use it as eyeshadow. Like there's so many things I can do with a deeper shade contour or bronzer if it happens to come in like a kit or something. You know, there's so many versatile uses for makeup. Absolutely. Yeah, Tiffany says, I commented on the Hourglass post on Instagram. I thought Tom Ford was expensive. I know it was like Hermes prices. Like, are you kidding me? I think that, and I said this in What's Up in Makeup, I think with the Hourglass thing, I think that they're going for the, because do Hourglass have, I'm pretty sure that there are some department store stands of Hourglass. Am I making that up in my head? That I feel like if you were walking through a department store and you were bougie and you're like looking for something luxe to treat yourself, maybe you got a raise or whatever, and you walk and you see that Hourglass palette, you know, 5 shades for $161, and you're like, ooh, I'm trying to treat myself. Like I know it's only 5 shades, but it's so pretty, and maybe I'll get it. Like maybe that's the angle they were going. I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah. Asha says, oh, did I say that right? Let me try it again. Akasha. I'm going to go Akasha. Hopefully I did okay. Cross my fingers. If you can put out a casting call for people to appear in your campaigns, you can put out a casting call for people to test out your formulas and your colors. It's that simple. Absolutely. 100%. 100%. As far as the Hourglass, Holly says, I need those shadows to apply themselves in my eye and clean my house to make it worth it. Oh, totally. Yeah, it's out of control. It's out of control. But this is the thing, is we now have the choice to not buy it. I'm not buying it. I can see some reviewers buying it because you want to see and be able to tell people so that they don't have to buy it and, you know, swatch it and see whether it's really worth it. But honestly, like I've tried eyeshadows from so many different price points, and a lot of times I'll look at like my Glamlight or my Juvia's Place and I'll swatch it next to, let's say, like a Natasha Denona. And it's like, is it really that big of a difference that it's worth the price point difference? You know, I'm saying Glamlight and Juvia's Place because their formulas are very similar. They're very creamy. The only difference I see between those formulas and, let's say, a Natasha Denona is I get more transfer because my lids are starting to get a little hooded. I get this transfer up here. And the less expensive eyeshadows tend to transfer more the foiled shades. But really, is it that big of a difference? Really? Is it? Not really, to be honest. I actually did a video a while back where I swatched different shades at different price points that were the similar shades. So it may be like a light champagne from like 6 different brands, and I swatched them, and then I put the prices, you know, of what they were. To see if there was an actual difference. So it was kind of like a game. It was a really fun video. It's a while back. But yeah, it's like, is there really a difference? I mean, you have to decide that for yourself, but I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot. Oh, yeah. Diamond Doll. Great point. Thank you for pointing this out. Michaela tried to blame the lack of shade range on budget restrictions. I forgot that point. When it's pointed out that Black-owned brands have extended shade range for a fraction of the budget, she posted that statement. Gotcha. And also, it can't be a budget restriction. Thank you for bringing this up because they're owned by Morphe. Like, you know, Morphe's got plenty of money. They could have done 2 more shades, or they could have just made that. That's the thing, too, is it's like, if you have 6 shades, fine, but make them a spectrum, you know. But yes, thank you for bringing that up because that was another part of her post that I did not talk about. I appreciate you. Thank you for always being in chat, by the way. I always look forward to your comments. Yeah, Physicians Formulas, terrible shade range doesn't get talked about enough. The butter bronzer is a staple and dark skin people can't use it. They just came out with a bunch of new bronzers there in What's Up in Makeup. They're all scented. And there is one that's a coffee one that the thing is they all have prints in them. So I don't know swirled together what they would be like. So we'll have to see whether those are better. I do think they came out with a slightly deeper butter bronzer, if I'm remembering correctly, but I don't think it goes that deep. Like if you look at those ABH ones, like they go really deep, really deep. All right, so we have about 10 minutes left. Yeah, Jenna says, why are they only pricing things so high the average person can't afford it? I think that it's just one of those things where, you know, people save up their money, they look at it, they covet it, and they save up their money to buy it, you know, if they really, really want it, I guess. I don't know, but that's a lot. That's a lot. Or they're just marketing to a different audience, you know? But you're right, the average person can't afford something like that. Absolutely. You know, but it's the same thing with like luxury handbags and, you know, really fancy shoes and all of that. You know, people will save up for something that they really want that's at a very high price point. A lot of people, you know, some people can't save up, but some people will. Yeah, Becky says, perhaps their target audience is wealthy light people. Yeah, probably. I have a feeling that's pretty on point. Oh, Cynthia, she says that the price per gram is just appalling. I haven't looked at that as far as the Hourglass shadow palette. Makeup says, Hourglass is just like other luxury brands. They appeal to individuals who want exclusive products to separate themselves from the populace. Elitism as its finest. Hourglass has little incentive to change. Absolutely. And I think it's also, you know, based on a stereotype that Black people don't have money, which is gross. Like I look around, like we have a lot of people of color in our neighborhood. We live in a really, really nice neighborhood. And I would say like a third of our neighbors are Black, and we live in a really nice neighborhood. It's like there are plenty of wealthy Black people that want to buy high-end products. There are lots of middle-class Black people that want to buy high-end products, you know, like I don't like that word class, middle class, but you know what I'm trying to say. There are plenty of people of deeper skin tones that can and will buy very expensive products if it's made for them. So I absolutely hate it that I feel like brands are going with that as well sometimes. It's gross. Okay, this is an interesting comment. I know this is going to pop up in the comments under this video. I agree, Jen, but there are makeup brands targeted for just darker skin, right? Is it because it's a larger brand that this has made a big deal? Just curious. I do hope it gets better. Okay, so the thing is when it comes to this, and people can correct me if I'm wrong on this, is that the reason why there are brands targeted specifically to deeper skin tones is because that is specifically and targetedly and purposely, those skin tones are often left out of ranges. So there are people that are, and brands that are trying to create products specifically for people of deeper skin tones so that they know that products will work for them. So it can't be reversed. It absolutely 100% cannot be reversed. You can't compare a brand that excludes Black and deeper skinned people and a white brand that excludes, a Black brand that excludes white people versus a Black brand that excludes, a white brand that excludes Black people, because those Black brands were created specifically to fill a hole in the market because of the elitism and the racism and all of that happening in white spaces. So you really can't, they can't be compared. So hopefully I explained that well, because I felt very inarticulate when I just tried to explain that. But it's very, very different than purposely excluding a group of people because you don't want them versus excluding a group of people because you are trying to fill a hole because of exclusion in the past. I don't know if that makes sense. In the present, not even just in the past, in the present. Hopefully I explained that okay. I don't feel like I did. Bianca, thank you so much for joining the Elite. I appreciate you so much. Afres says there's a deeper shade in the butter bronzer called Sculpting or something. It looks deep in the pan, but Emily Noel loves it and is pretty sheer. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Lily says, how do you feel about Jaclyn Hill saying her summer collection is limited edition? Do you really think they'll only roll out for a little and then be pulled? Yes, I do. I do think that she's going to keep it limited edition. I think that she's probably going to release those formulas on their own and extend the shade range like she said that she was going to. I think that that is legit the plan. I could be wrong, but I do think it'll be limited edition. Yeah. Sheila says Danessa Myricks fills a void that has been historically ignored by larger brands. Yes. Thank you, Sheila. Yeah, and Georgia says also white brands can use black brands. Yes, Jennifer explained perfect. Thank you, Georgia. Okay, Kay said I explained it well. Thank you. I tried. I felt very inarticulate, but hopefully I got it across. What?
It was a little chunky, but it came across.
Okay, thank you, John. Yeah, Mel says, I wonder if this is why it was limited edition. We messed up, so let's only make a small amount. I don't know. I tend to lean toward not. I feel like, it's kind of like the Valentine's Day collection, like people do limited edition, like seasonal collections, but I do think that we will probably see them, those formulas making it to permanent. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's possible. They were like, well, we only want to make, I don't know, that would take a lot of forethought of crudiness. It's possible. It's possible. Yeah. Oh, totally. Lauren says, but black beauty brands like Juvia's Place have very inclusive products for white people. I'm white and I love their foundation. Yes, but not all brands are like that. Like I think of like Mented, that was specifically made for deeper skin tones. And it's important that they exist, in my opinion. Yeah. Hi, Jen. Jen Gerard is here. I hate limited edition anything. It drives me crazy. Yeah. Yeah, I get it. I don't hate limited edition a ton. I hate limited edition when it's something that is such a small run that not everybody that wants it can get it, but I get it. Like, you need to make things go. I mean, you think about like Urban Decay's Naked line that they, it was permanent, but then people just stopped buying it. Like it got old, so they got rid of it. I don't have a problem with limited edition as long as there is a good amount available based on the projected demand. Like we talked about in What's Up in Makeup today, the My Chemical Romance Hip Dot collab, how it like sold out before it was really even supposed to launch. If I remember right, Steph, you'll have to correct me if Steph's here. Because I know Steph tried to get it, or I think she did get it eventually. But yeah, that was limited edition. Now they're coming out with another collab with My Chemical Romance. I'm hoping there'll be more of those, but that's when I get really irritated. So yeah, limited edition can be very annoying. Yeah, Ruth says, I've hopped back on the Jaclyn Hill bandwagon. She's made a lot of mistakes, but my introverted personality loves her hyper happy self, LOL. And I think that everybody just needs to make that decision for themselves, whether they like watching her content, whether they like buying her products. Everybody needs to decide for their individual personhood what they want to buy. And everybody has a right to, however they feel. Sandra says, I don't mind limited edition, but I refuse to set an alarm to spend my money. Yeah. I have to admit, I have done that. I have set my alarm to buy things. I remember when the Too Faced Peach collection was coming out, that was a deal. Do you remember they did that little cartoon with Laura Lee and everything? It was like a huge, huge deal. I remember setting my alarm for that. I haven't set an alarm in a while. I think some Lunar Beauty launches, I really wanted some of those. But yeah, I don't blame you, Sandra. I think that you're smart because you don't need that stress in your life. I don't need that stress in my life, but I do it to myself. I think part of it was because I really wanted to review it. And in order to review it, you had to be part of that first round. But then I realized that what happens is when you buy something that's limited edition for review, then nobody else can get it. And it was pointless anyway. So let's stop doing that. Yeah. Oh, totally, Bianca. I just feel like limited edition tries to ignite FOMO and consumerism. I think that's kind of what Jen was saying with her post. Why would I want to fall in love with a product that won't come back? Yeah, totally. That's an excellent perspective. I love that. Yeah, it was just a big misstep, Mel. Can you imagine if she actually included shades for all skin tones? She would may have actually gained more praise and consumer. Oh my gosh, absolutely. Absolutely. But I mean, hopefully working with this inclusivity company will help them to make better choices. I mean, I just feel like it kind of should have been already. Like we should have been there already. I think she should have known being in the space for so long, you know? Like I don't get it. And Morphe being in the space for so long, I don't get it. I don't get it. All right, my friends, we are an hour in. Thank you so much for your patience this morning. I appreciate you so very much. I hate being late for things. I don't know if you know I've ever said that on camera, but the thought of being like people waiting on me gives me so much anxiety. Like it makes me feel sick in my stomach when I know people are waiting for me to do something and I can't do it. Like I have nightmares still about waiting tables and having people waiting for me and I can't get to the tables. Like I had we're off time. So I'm just going to tell this one quick story. I had this one dream where I was waiting tables. This was maybe a couple months ago. I haven't waited tables in like 15 years where I was waiting tables and I was trying to get like a Coke and a Sprite. And I went over to the machine and I kept getting soda and it kept being root beer. Every time I put the glass up, it was root beer. And I kept smelling. I was like, this is freaking root beer. And I'd pour it out and I'd try again. And every time it would be root beer. And I knew that they were waiting on a Coke and a Sprite. And I couldn't get back to them because the darn machine kept giving me root beer no matter which one I did. So I felt really bad about being late this morning. So I appreciate your patience. I really hate it when you all have to wait for me. So I will try very hard to not do that again. It was something that was out of my control.
It was my fault.
Okay, it was kind of John's fault a little bit.
It was my fault. I'm sorry.
But I'm sorry. I'm not trying to make you feel bad. I'm sorry.
You're not making me
Okay,
feel bad.
good.
I'm just taking responsibility for it.
Okay, all right. But anyway, so yeah, thank you for your patience. I appreciate it. Mad love to you. Have a great week. Stay safe, and I will see you in a video very, very soon. Bye.